Hello everybody and welcome to my channel where Amani basically draws stuff. So today I'm going to be drawing from a reference photo I took not too long ago of a spot somewhere in my city, in my hometown. And I just thought this would make for a fun little exercise to try something different, try something new. As I'm pretty much always drawing pets and faces. So this was quite a fun challenge. I'm using markers today, alcohol markers, and I am working on a marker pad, which is quite strong and it takes the ink quite nicely and it doesn't tear up the page. So over here I've got my reference point, and it is so important to always have your reference no matter where you are on your art journey. I think you can change it up and play with it as much as you want to, but having a reference point really helps. So I did tear the page in half because I wanted to use a smaller surface, as this is just a fun little quick drawing. I started off with a ruler penciling in some of the parts of the drawing or from the reference, and then realized that that was going to end up being way too big and I did want to scale down the actual drawing. So I took a new piece of paper, and what I did was I kind of got just a brief idea of where my main focus, where the person basically is going to be, and I just started drawing her off. So I did exaggerate her quite a bit. You know, I made her a bit more cartoony, but I did want her to be in the center, the focus, and from there on, I could basically then kind of tell where everything else was going to fit around her. So here I'm just lightly sketching her in. I'm not pressing too hard with my pencil. I just need an idea of what she looks like. I do make the face and the arms quite small and her main body quite big. That's just the way I would draw a cartoon. And then I'm going in with the rest of the background, the sides, the railings, the road, the trees, so forth, so forth. So I am using alcohol markers, and then I've also got these brush pens, which I just got from a Chinese marketplace. But I am starting off with the alcohol markers. I think this brand is Prime. And I'm just going in and basically blocking out most of the area. So, you know, she's standing on a road, on a sidewalk. She's holding onto a wall, and I am using a more nude color just to kind of get those normal, natural colors in. Straight after that, I go in with a black marker just to kind of see where I am and differentiate between the wall and the ground. I realized that my lines were a bit off, so I did bring in a ruler just to check that again, which is fine. We all make mistakes, and later on you'll see how that line just kind of completely fades away, that little mistake I first made. Happy accident, I mean to say. And yeah, I kind of just, you know, looking at the reference photos, see where the dark and lighter areas are, and just kind of start to block that in a bit here on my wall, with the grays and the alcohol markers. I am taking a ruler and a lighter gray marker just to start outlining and getting in some of the other details around her, where the wall ends, the top of the wall where she is holding onto. And here I am just blocking that in. And this gray is quite a cool color. You can paint, well, draw over any other colors and kind of just make it a shade darker, which is quite nice. So I do generally like to stock up on the lighter colors because they just help make any other colors darker. So now I'm just going in with some greens, and I am blocking out where the trees are in the background, skyline area, which is pretty straightforward. I just get a general idea of where the trees are and just kind of block in some color. Later on we will go in with detail and lines, and now I am again just trying to put in the road to the side, which is a bit of a darker gray, and then I've got some yellow to, you know, kind of be the part of the road that's yellow. And then I'm just coloring in that side gray, and just, yeah, basically putting in colors and blocking out so that everything can kind of start coming together nicely. I then wanted to also just get that sky out of the way as well, so that it really could wrap up. I just kind of color in and just go with the flow, and even if you see some patchy spots around, that's okay, because that then maybe looks more like a sky. I just put in her shadow there on the ground with a bit of a darker bronzy lighter color, and now I am going in with some of the details on her and her dress, blocking in some pink, and then just adding some skin tones in there just so that she has a bit more definition as well. Yeah, I just go in now with a bit of a darker gray, just add a little bit of details to the wall, to her cappy, just so I can kind of see what I'm working with. I do have a brush pen here, but I soon realized that it's a bit too thick for my liking, so I do trade that in for just a normal marker, and I go in now with the black, and I just basically start to define my areas. I've got the screen now, and I'm adding in some shadows, some shades, because not everything's just flat and one color. I do use a mixture of different greens and even some yellows, and just anything that kind of feels greeny and grassy to me. And then I continue going in, getting just a rough idea of where I think some branches would be, just to kind of make it look a bit realistic, so that you could tell, oh, okay, this is probably just foliage, and lots of it. So yeah, I just add in random little curves and shapes to, signify leaves. I go in with some browns, a lot of these new natural colors alongside the greens really help. So as you can see, I do bring in quite a few greens, just to create some sort of texture, some sort of depth to it, which I think it came out pretty nicely. Now I'm just taking some more grays and adding some more details into the wall that she's on. As you can see, that line kind of just disappears, and I just add some more broken lines in there with the gray, just to show some detail. And I always move in the same kind of direction of the vanishing point, so as you can see, all my lines kind of lead up to just above her head. That's kind of where the direction is going. So now I'm going in with that black marker again and just creating some definition in her dress. I like to look at the reference, get a rough idea of what I'm looking at, and then, like I said, with the face and with the arms and even the legs are quite small, I just exaggerate it a bit, and I just have fun, and I make it a bit cartoony. And this is just supposed to be free flowing, rough, enjoyable. There's nothing too serious going on here. I make her shoes blue, and then I add some blue dots into the sky because I just felt that was nice and bright and just a cool break away from what was going on. And then I just used a plain alcohol marker just to mix those blues in because they did seem a bit harsh. So now the fun part kind of happens for me, is where I go in with all the details. There's like a fencing behind her head. This black marker is great. Like, once I enjoy putting down all the color first and then going over that with this black marker. If you were to put in the details first and then go over with the color, it could kind of like fade away or hide some of those black lines a bit. So yeah, I'm just literally adding random lines to symbolize or to make it seem like they're just cracks in the road or rocks or just some sort of character in the road, on the street, on to everything, just to bring it alive a bit. And then I do take a bit of a darker pink, and I add some definition and depth and detail into her little dress, which just really helped it pop quite a lot. I go in with an even darker one over that again, just to bring it forward. And then I do add accents of that in the rest of the drawing, just to kind of tie it all together. I find that I like to put the colors that I'm using kind of throughout a bit. Then I've got that lighter gray that I spoke about earlier, going in, just adding some shadows. This is the perfect color to add shadows on top of the colors, you know, that I've already used. I go in again just to finish off, adding all those little nooks and crannies, those little details, just really having fun with it. I don't know, I saw this purple brush pen and I thought maybe that would be nice to add just a pop of color in there somewhere, you know, just have fun with it, just roll with it. And then yeah, I finished off with some blue in the sky, just, you know, again bringing some pops of color forward. And that was that. I was actually really happy with this. It was fun, it was quick, it was cute. Of course, always sign your name. And that's that. This is just a fun, quick little marker painting drawing that I did, and I hope you guys really enjoyed watching that. Thank you so much, and I'll check you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye.